I began to study at various places, the Loft Studio, studied with some other teachers. I read all the books that you could read, and all that was great, but you realize that the only way to learn how to, it's not act necessarily. The only way to learn how to react and behave, because it's just behavior and it's reaction, was to do it. It's on-the-job training. It's trial by fire. So I did my best to work up my own approach towards a character and such. I somehow in my mind I saw this opportunity, like a way to mesh characters like cartoon characters. So I started thinking about the parameters that were available to cartoon characters. So I tried to incorporate these kind of ideas into the character of Captain Jack Sparrow so that I could try to push those parameters and control the sort of suspension of disbelief, to be able to control the character's actions, words, movements. Cartoon characters can get away with things we can't. Captain Jack Sparrow can do things that I could never do. He could say things that I could never say. So it was for me a way to stretch the parameters of a character. The very same way that I've ever approached any character. You look for a back history, you base it on, it could be anything. Like Edward Scissorhands, for example, was based on a dog that I'd had and newborn babies. My sister had a couple of new babies and I watched them, because I thought that Edward would see things from a place of innocence, and also that look of innocent child when they experience something for the first time. Those were the two main ingredients that I thought would serve the character. It's not like you become that person, but if you know that character to the degree that I did, once you know a character better than the writers, that's when you have to be true to the character and add your words.
I never understood the fascination with the personal life of a guy who tells lies for a living. I just never got it.
What really helps you find that character is when you get into the ring with other actors, which pushed me to maintain that Whitey, or to push Whitey up a step. Well, the last thing I want to look like is myself, I've always felt that it was important to escape. I always figured if I just did the same thing over and over, I'd not only bore myself, but I'd bore the audience, At a certain point, you do the scene a few times. Once you kind of gone through the thing a certain amount of times and you feel like you've gotten it, we would just go psychotically off page, and start talking about, it could have been anything. Oh yes, the circus last night, wasn't it wonderful? And even to this day, within the acting, when I'm making a film, music is still a huge part of it, because music is the instant, it's instantly effective with regard to emotion. A certain song will take you back to some memory from childhood or whatever, and you apply these things to the words or the work.